It's too heavy, right? That's right. The plates are always heavy. Oh, we'll put that in the bowl. You got too many, you can have this, that, and another. And we ain't never broke. Where does it come from? I have no idea. The books don't, I sit there sometimes, I keep notes and books. And I add up what we spend, and I add up what we do, and it don't add up. I don't know. It comes from Allah. That's where it comes from. And we have never, anybody in the game that have never been broke? We have never been broke in over 55 years. How many people in the game can say that? We never been broke. In Jahiliyyah, we wasn't broke. We was going overseas giving the people in exile money. You see what I mean? We was in Oakland setting up a whole East Oakland Enterprise, Black Enterprise Zone. That's what it was. We said, we got plenty of money, we're going to make everybody else, we're going to fix so everybody get money. None of the niggas do that. Everybody get money for themselves. Only. Or a couple of little cliques. We said, no, everybody in Oakland going to get money. And we set it up, and everybody, they remember that period, 68, 69, 70, 71, man, niggas was getting big money. And they don't have it anymore, only us. We kept ours. With the whole United States trying to slow them down, using psychological warfare, chemical warfare, right? Psychic stuff. And we still here. Now, this is what we want Iran to do on the global scene. Show the people it can be done and how it's done. And at the same time, the U.S. is in a decline. Okay. So this is a counter-campaign against Western interests. It's a counter-campaign. We want to trap them. Okay. Okay. That's okay. The Western Studies Department in Iran is inefficient. Like they have Department of Strategic Studies here, they have Iran, they were thinking very well at the University of Tehran, they have Western Studies. In that Western Studies, they have French, so if you go there and you're speaking, if you speak French, you speak directly to the students in French, because that's okay. In English, when I go to the University of Tehran, I speak in English, and everybody know what I'm talking about, because they have Western studies, American studies, European studies in English. So whatever language, they have studies department. So it's the same as their Department of Strategic Studies, but they made a mistake. They've been ineffective and inefficient. It's not their fault. They don't know how to think like we do. What we're talking about now, they don't know that. That's why we're telling them that. That number one, you focus on what you want to focus on. That's the number one thing in everything. The focus, everything that happens in life, it has the weight of what you give it, not what it is. If somebody attack you, you can fight, you can run away, you can wait till next week, it's on you. Right? It's on you. Suppose you don't feel like fighting that day. You just don't fight. Don't make no difference what they did. You're not going to fight that day because you don't want to. You're not ready. You know something, right? You got to have the courage, though, to stand up and say, I'm not fighting today. And let them talk. You know why? They ain't running nothing. Them people talking is just like Negroes here in America running their mouth. I would do this and I would do that. Well, do it then. Well, I ain't got no, well, good. That's why you ain't got nothing. Because you let people tell you what to do. They run your life. Right? So Iran, the main focus should not be oil economy. Of course it's thinking about it, but that's not the focus. That independent economy, something that it controls. That's what you have to use. The U.S. has control of all of that other external stuff, the banks and all of that. So number one, you control your own currency. You said the real has a certain value. Prices are not going up inside Iran. We're not letting them, like the Turkish lira, go down. We're not allowing you to control our internal wealth. We're going to work in harmony and unity together. And not only the political leaders, but the rich. We don't want to leave them out. We have to find a way, well, they can find a way, to appeal to the wealthy. They are wealthy. There's whole super neighborhoods of wealthy people in Iran. We need your help. You work with us now. If you need a little something back in 5, 10, 20 years, we'll pay you back. But we need your help now. I want you to imagine a country that has the whole society unified. Think about it. The whole country is unified. In the media, we have a list of lies. Pompeo, Bolton, the State Department. That's an easy trap. And we use light humor, but sarcasm too, to show they have lied and they continue to lie about it. It's a whole list. We don't need to go through. That they lie every day, all day. And the munafiqeen is the one to feeding them everything. They just tell them whatever they want and they follow it. They're never right. They have to answer that question too. Why are you there? Why is Iran there? We have to answer the same question. Why are we here? What is our job? We're doing our job best we can. We don't care whether the Masjid over there, we don't care about the center around the corner, whether they open or close. We don't care about none of it. Because we can't control that flow or nothing. All we know is what we have influence over. And we're going to do it without breaking a sweat. Now that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That means you have to have plenty of confidence. Well, we do have confidence. We just slap boss man upside the head all the time. And nobody even knows it, right? They don't even hardly understand what we've been doing here, except us right here. We've been going through this stuff year in and year out, and we have understanding of it. Suppose somebody out there just hears this lecture right now without any warning or anything. They say, that nigga over there is crazy. That nigga juicing up over there, boy, bad. He got K2, he got, right, they got, right? Wouldn't they think that? Who is he talking to? He's talking to the country, the Islamic Republic, and he's telling them what they should do. Well, I say what Zarif should do with certain other people, because I was sitting there listening to him telling me who he hates. And that's the whole thing you got to do. And unity is go to the people you hate. Iran, it is not possible for them to take care of all this with fitna, with disunity. They have to unify All the people, those that aren't unified, they have to be neutralized. Neutralized. Well, they can't speak out. They can't say, because everything you're doing is sensible, is sane, and is headed in the right direction. Okay, we talked about 1980s, continuous war. You know, what we're saying too is you have to draw pictures of the warmonger, right? They have a picture of a Muslim, he's a terrorist, he's cutting people's throat, right? That's what they have. Is it true? Absolutely not. The people cutting people's throat on TV is Saudis. The people beheading people, suppose China beheaded 37 people in one day or a month. So suppose they did that. You'd hear it all day in the news. They cut off 37 people's head, right? Saudi Arabia does it, and you might, there's a little corner in the paper, that's it, right? So their media, we're not trying to influence their media, we're trying to influence. The war starts from way out there and it comes in. So the ambassador in Tanzania is talking to the people about Tanzanian-Iranian relations. But every now and then he focuses on, well, this is our position in the world and we're trying to do this, that, and other, and he going about his business. Why? So the Standard in Tanzania and Dar es Salaam will print what the ambassador said. Today, that was a meeting with the Iranian ambassador. Now, you do that all over the world, and you do it repetitiously. Pretty soon, you are surrounded. You can't control these press here. You can't control Fox News, none of these people. CNN, you can't control them. But things will start to filter in, and people will begin to question. And remember, Donald Trump, you draw a picture of who he is. Just like the people in Britain, remember a few months back, maybe it was last year, they had a big baby with a diaper and a big pin in the diaper, remember that? And a big yellow-haired, red-headed baby. A big balloon covers a hole bigger than this masjid, right? And nobody never forgot that. That's Donald Trump is a big baby. Right? It's a big baby. Now, remember, we keep focusing on, you don't need 5 or 6 different subjects. You need 1, 2, 3 subjects. And you always focus on. Just like here, what do we focus on? We do Juma now, a religious subject, but we focus 4, 5, 4, no more than 4, no more than 5 subjects. They're different subjects, but they all lead to the same point. You see what I mean? We have not strayed from that same thing Iran has to do. Okay, we're going to speed it up. Draw a picture of the warmonger. Okay, another picture of the warmonger is what is the purpose of war? The CIA is an agency of the government. They make war so that the United States government can sell weapons to both sides, and they can get people to fight each other, and they destroy themselves. And at the same time, they send Americans to fight the war, and they come back here and commit suicide. Isn't that what's happening?
Yeah.
That's what's happening. We got to tell them that. The Americans are slowish. Not Americans, everybody. The human being is slow, and they let things build up and build up, and they look on the good side. Not about you or their neighbor, but they're kind of understand if we can eat, we'll be all right. That's not the way it is. So remember, you have to let them know that it's the job of the CIA to start wars in the world. The military-industrial complex, which Eisenhower talked against, builds the weapons, recruits the soldiers, and have your children go over and fight the Zionist enemies. They're not your enemies. They're fighting Zionist and Saudi enemies, right? The Americans, they don't look at it like that. Thank you for your service. Service? Why, you're an idiot. What do you mean, thank you for your service? I mean, I'm not going to tell a parent that lost their son that they're an idiot. But, okay, fine. And then you try to tell them in a nice way that your son, your daughter got killed in Iraq and Afghanistan for nothing. Why? How much money does it cost to fight those wars? Who makes money? The people? Do the people make any money? People don't make no money. There's a few of them work in those factories, but they're producing weapons to kill hundreds and thousands of people. Who comes back to America crazy? We've been lied to. They can't tell American people we were suckers. It's like you go to university to get a PhD, you say, I was a sucker. You can't tell people I spent all that time. I was a damn fool, spent all that time. I know about 40 years ago, my family members told me, you're doing this great work. You can get a degree from such and such, you know, like a kind of a phony degree. I said, PhD is stupid compared to what we're doing. That was in 1980. I said, they ain't got no sense. I don't want no degree. A phony degree from such and such a place? Absolutely not. Anyway, so the people cannot come back and say, hey, look, we were fools to go over there and fight that war for the CIA, whose job it is to make trouble in the world. Remember they said, we're just peacemakers, but they cause fitna all over the world. That's what they do, right? Who pays for it? The American people, the American taxpayer, and they keep funneling the money to these big companies. Can you look and see how much money? You know, like imbalance. Suppose you got anything that rotates, and you got everything on one side. What does it do? Right, like even when a washing machine is spinning stuff. Suppose it's all on one side. It goes boom, right? Now, that's an imbalance. Suppose in the world today, especially America, you got all the money on one side. Now, the only people that don't want to see a new world are less stressed on economic income and monetary issues is the people that's got all the money, right? We don't have to do this kind of living anymore. The human being that rose to the level he can make any kind of world he want to live in. He just got to fight his nafs, control his nafs. Right? Fasting is prescribed for you, as was prescribed for you, that you learn tatakun, self-restraint, self-discipline, right? Self-mastery. Mizan is balance. Allah created everything in balance, right? Who's creating the imbalance? Boss man. Which boss man? The ones at the real top. It's not the day-to-day white folks. They starving like, you know, they got it. You know, white folks used to have a shine. If you're white, you're all right. That's getting less and less and less. You know? In fact, a lot of them is almost just like us. In fact, on opiates and all that, we got to try to rescue them because we know what they're doing to them. The big white man is opiating the poor white man to death. Last year, I know they're lying, it's more, 70,000 people, well, 2015, died of opium. It wasn't that many Negroes dying. And these white folks is dying and they got Narcan, bring them back. They didn't have, you know what I mean? Take a sniff and you jump back up. You're almost dead, right? They got that for all the white folks now. Half of them come back and say, man, you brought me back. I don't like that. Yes, ever see? Man, what you doing bringing me back? I was in Never Land, right? I OD'd, man. I was gone and you done brung me back to this bull crap. They say it. Don't you ever hear them say it? Mm-hmm. They say it, man. The Negro ain't never had nothing to bring him back. When he OD'd, hey man, the Negro was gone. And when you see a Negro that with a Pall Mall, a long cigarette, and the ashes is all the way back to here, that nigga is out. You ever seen that? Yeah. That nigga, look at, hey man, that nigga is paused, right? Hey man, you gotta, he ain't moving, he just there, and hey man, he is coasting. I mean, I have seen it, and I saw it all the time. This much ashes on a cigarette. This much ashes, that means that man have moved. I mean, hey man, that's how coasting the Negro was. But the white folks, anyway, we got to get the white folks on our side. We got to get the world on our side. Now, remember 2009 in Iran, what happened? We don't have time to go over that, but we'll go. In Iran, they have shot and murdered and killed people, and they blame it on the government. The people there know better, but the people over here don't know better. So remember, you got to draw a picture. Who makes the money off war? The military-industrial complex, the poor fight and do the war. Remember Obama? Obama must have said something wrong, because 2 people jumped over the White House fence. Remember? Can a nigga jump over the fence? Tell the truth. I bet you a nigga can't jump over the fence. Unless the CIA or the security apparatuses. Somebody told me that one guy got in the elevator with the president and they had a gun. That's to let him know, nigga, you got your family here, you get out of line one more time, and we're gonna turn our head. Now you know dear Obama let more people, led more, we called it right, he was a Judas goat. Y'all know the Judas goat? The Judas goat